want to kind of shift a little bit though. What do people do when they find out about you writing books, about being an author and stuff like that? What do they think about that? Or do they even know?
It's mixed responses. Some people are like, oh man, that's really cool. Where can I find your book? You tell them and they're like, okay, cool. Some people are like, oh, wow, you're an author. Oh, you're an author. I don't know. I think sometimes people don't really know how to take you because they have this idea of what that means. It's just, I'm just a person that wrote a book about my story, and I wrote a children's book, and that's pretty much it. I've had some speaking engagements from it, but for the most part, people are like, oh man, that's really cool. How can I support? My school this year asked me to be a speaker. So I had to speak to all 300 staff members, and I did like an excerpt from my book, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is great. You should write it down. I was like, I already did. It's in my book. Want to buy it? Like, where do you get it?
Yeah.
So I don't think people really realize how hard it is. And they'll say like, I'll get it, I'll buy it. But then when it comes time to really supporting, it's like crickets a little bit. Because to be honest, a lot of people don't really like to read as much anymore. Everything has to be condensed. And I think another avenue that's really amazing is audiobooks. So if you are not a great reader or you just don't like reading, you can always listen to it. But yeah, I just think that people don't have the time really, or don't make the time or prioritize reading as much as they used to. Mm-hmm. So mixed reviews on whether they want to purchase or not. And they're just like, oh, that was really cool that you wrote a book. That's kind of it.
Yeah. No, but that's kind of shifting towards more entrepreneurship. Because I you know, what I hear from your story when you got out of the military, which mine is, and kind of in a sense, Izzy's in a sense, is we kind of just like, we do the military. It don't matter if you do 4, 6, 8, whatever. It seems like you do 20, man. You're kind of just, it's like you're navigating the waters and you're trying to figure out what is that. Because I remember getting out and I remember bragging to people like, man, you're CBT. I'll never have to do that again. Like, oh, suckers. Y'all live in the lie. Like, you're doing this stuff. I'm about to go on my own. And I literally got a job and they're like, hey, before you can do anything, we need you like to take this training. And it's like, it's on computer.
It's
like,
CBT,
you want me to do a CBT? It's like, you don't leave that. Like, even now, like I was telling Izzy, like my license is coming up, so I have to renew it. That's more CBTs. I have to do education. It's like like you thought the military was goofy because it's just doing dumb stuff. And you're like, but you find out and you're like, that's the greatest lie there ever was. Like, the whole world is goofy and the military just like, you're going to keep doing it. So, and what you talked about mainly was the entrepreneurship. That's something that I don't think people ever talk about. Like, people sit there and say, hey, I love you. I support you. I do this. And then you look it up and be like, I don't got no sales coming in. Like, it's like, but it is what it is though. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, you have a business, I have a business, like not everyone's going to, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, we think, and what I found the funniest part about it is a lot of people that you think would support you. Like, hey, I'm waiting on it. When it drops, I'm hitting that buy button. They never do. They just never do. And the people that are total strangers will support you more than ever. So if you can talk about what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to be an author, trying to sell yourself, but at the same time frame, like how the difficulties or maybe some of the truth behind it.
Man, you just said a whole mouthful. I'm trying to tell you what you just said is so I agree wholeheartedly with, because I think that was the biggest shock. The people that I thought were really going to support, whether they were saying it, whether they're family, whether they're long-term friends, whatever it was, those people weren't really the ones that actually went out to buy the book. Those weren't the people that actually showed up to the book signing. Those weren't the people that were like, man, oh, okay, so y'all are life coaches. Cool. How can I support you? Like, no, those weren't the people. It was like the people I've never met ever, like total complete strangers, or those that I had very little interaction with. Those are the ones that actually have been showing up or really supporting. I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned is not to take it personal, though. Like, not to take any of that personal. People are going to people. People have different things going on. It's not anything that I need to take personal. It doesn't stop me from grinding. It doesn't stop me and my husband from working hard. It doesn't stop us from being legacy minded and wanting to leave something behind for our children's children. The grind, it motivates us. Like, okay, cool. You don't want to support? Don't get mad when this train start moving. Because I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to keep doing whatever it is I need to do. So I think the lesson was you're going to really be surprised who actually shows up to support you. And it's not going to look like what you think it's going to look like. It's not going to sound, feel, any of that. It's going to be completely different. I'll be honest. Izzy and Mike, y'all are showing us more love than people I've known for years. Like, you asked us to be an ambassador of your brand. Mm-hmm. Who does that? Like, y'all are brothers. Y'all don't know yet. Like, we just got to do a cookout or something. Like, y'all are family. That's how me and Marcus see y'all. Like, y'all are showing us love that hasn't been shown to us from other entities, other organizations, other people. And one thing about it is, like you said, it doesn't matter if you were in the Air Force for your 6 months to be qualified, 180 days to be qualified as a veteran, or whether you were a lifer. Like, once you're a part of this community, your family, like you build something with a group of people that y'all go through something with together, risking your lives, whether you knew it or not. And you become like this family, this extended family around the world. So